people, are you ready? Windies in the land, just put up your hand.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to On Tour as we look back at the West Indies and a Pakistan test match. Boy, it's definitely going to be a very interesting finish. And Barry Wilkinson, thank you so much for joining us. It all was Pakistan, I would say, on day number 3 in this test match. The West Indies fought their way back into the game, but Pakistan will feel, with 5 wickets now in hand, that they perhaps are looking for a total of anything above 200, which would perhaps give them the advantage. Let's have a look at the scorecard and see how things ended on day number 3. The Pakistan team, 160 for 5 after making 217. The West Indies, 253, didn't add many on day 3 in the morning. And so far for Pakistan, it's some really good batting by Babar Azam, the captain. He's very inspirational, unbeaten on 54. And with him is Fahim Ashraf, who is there on 12. Earlier, Abid Ali made 34, Azhar Ali made 23, and Mohammad Rizwan made 30. For the West Indies, 2 apiece to Kemar Roach. He's bowling so well, it's unbelievable. Jayden Seals, 2 for 50, and Jason Holder getting 1 for 27. You know who should have been on that sheet? Kyle Mears. He had a catch drop off of him. That was very, very unfortunate, but that's how the game goes. We've got a star-studded panel for you tonight. All the way from Pakistan, we've got Dr. Kashif Ansari. And of course, we also have our usual panel, who continue to do a fantastic job. Tino Best, the former West Indies fast bowler. Sir Clive Lloyd, that top legendary test captain. And Johnny Barron, the BBC correspondent. Gentlemen, it's so great to have you on the program. I'm going to start with Dr. Ansari first. He's our guest indeed. And Dr. Ansari, when you look at the Pakistan position, 160 for 5, they have a nice little lead, a very handy lead. What do you predict on day number 4?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to this esteemed program. And I've been watching your previous episodes. You're doing a fantastic job with the elite panel, which you already have. As far as this test match is concerned, I'm not really hopeful. I know you don't want me to say that. As a Pakistani fan, I should be talking a little bit more bullish. But knowing the tale of Pakistan and knowing the mindset of Babar Azam and Fahim Ashraf, what they are at the crease right now, I seriously doubt that they will be able to cross 200, the lead of 200. If they do cross the lead of 200, then it's not going to be an easy chase for West Indies. We all know that. But to get to that magic number of 200 lead, it's going to be a real task for these two and the players to come. We all know Pakistan has a very long tail. For the past few years, we are the worst team in the world when it comes to tails performance. And this is exactly what my fear is. It's a matter of one delivery, and the whole complexion of the game can change.
Tino, is the doctor being a bit pessimistic? 124-run lead, the average 4th inning score at Sabine is 146. Do you agree with the doc about the pessimism of Pakistan's position?
Well. To be honest, Barry, I am a huge Pakistan fan, and I've been watching them for many years. And they are quite similar to the West Indies, Barry. They can get you as high, and they can bring you very low, very quickly. But look, I think that they're in the driver's seat somewhat, given that the West Indies haven't. This is the first time that they've gotten over 200 and 250 in about 6 innings or so. So I think that the driving Pakistan are still in the driving seat. I think once they can get 220, Barry, I think Pakistan could be in for it can be intriguing. It can be an intriguing game because you don't know what cricket is throw at you. So I don't want to say Pakistan could win or West Indies can win. I think it's going to be an enthralling test match going into this 4th day.
So, Clive Lloyd, you are the expert in terms of winning test matches and being a kingpin among us. Years gone by, you would say, Pakistan looked good. But like Tino said, like Dr. Ansari has put it, we have seen this team, implode. We also have seen that from the West Indies. If I had to come to your masterful summation on day number 3, how would you put it for me?
I would say it is evenly poised here, because the point is that the Pakistan still have 5 batters to go, and they still have the captain, and he likes big scores. And it's obvious that he's not going to, give up easily. It is the way he's batting very intelligently, and Fahim. So the point is that the first hour will tell you exactly how things are going to go. If they really do not, if they don't lose any wickets, then I'm thinking that they would add another 30 or so, and that will put a little bit of pressure on the West Indies. And so, really and truly, it is as I said, evenly poised. And I know that Pakistan sometimes implode, and so does the West Indies. So and they wouldn't want to have to chase anything over 220 because I think it would be quite interesting, and Pakistan would be happy to get to that sort of score. But the other thing is that I don't think the new ball is very close. It's sort of far away. So that means that they'll be using an old ball, and I'm not so sure they might get that sort of swing or a lot of turn. We had some spinners, and they only now they're coming in to the game of such, and the ball is not really turning prodigiously, but I find it very interesting. It's very fascinating, and I'm sure that tomorrow would be a very enthralling day, and I look forward to it.
Johnny Barr, you had put things in perspective in terms of the test match numbers. You said 146 is the average score at Sabina for the fourth innings. It's now 124 the lead. Put that into context for me, and also put into context the captaincy of Babar Azam and his innings of 54. Your thoughts on those two particular matters?
Well, what does the history tell us? The history tells us that 14 times sides have been set 100 or more to win at Sabina Park. How many have won? Well, 3 have won, and that is the West Indies got 172 against India back in 1983. Next highest is 206, the West Indies over New Zealand. That was back in 2012. And the highest chase of all is the West Indies against Sri Lanka back in 2003. Then there's been 7 losses and 4 draws. So it suggests that, already Pakistan are in a reasonable position. If they can get up to 200, 175 plus, you feel they'll be right in the game. As far as Babar Azam is concerned, well, he's the linchpin. Absolutely, isn't he? He's a fantastic player in world cricket. He is in possession at the moment tomorrow morning, and he will probably determine how competitive Pakistan are in the rest of the game. If he can bat through till lunch or a fair proportion of that morning session, you feel that fourth innings will be hard work, especially with Yasir Shah, who hasn't got a wicket thus far, but of course he got 8 last time he was at Sabina Park.
Dr. Ansari, Babar Azam, and 15 odd not out. He's batting really well, but he usually does. Has the captaincy been a good look on Babar Azam?
Well, I'll tell you what, Babar Azam, again, you're going to call me pessimistic, I know that. But my point of view of Pakistan cricket is slightly different from being a Pakistani cricket fan. I look at things from a different perspective. Babar Azam is not a born leader. Let's make it very clear to everyone. From my perspective, that's my point of view. I may be wrong with that. And the way he has carried himself ever since he was made a captain, I think he's carrying the whole weight of the team, and when he performs, the team wins. When he doesn't perform, the team loses. So if you look around him, it is very difficult to find anybody close to him. And, maybe Rizwan over the last 12 or 13 months have really come up. Other than that, nothing. Babar Azam as a captain, you see, in any game, especially in a test match, you have to make wickets. As a captain, you have to come up with a plan for individual batsmen of your opposition. I didn't see that over the last during the last innings, and so was the last few test matches. I haven't noticed that cunning attitude of Babar Azam. He may learn over time, but for now, I seriously doubt that he will be able to do so, and he has not performed that well as a captain. He could do much, much better. That's how I feel. But as far as Yasir Shah is concerned, I know last time he was there and they won the test match and he picked up 8 wickets. But Yasir Shah, with all his fitness problems and everything, who was supposed to be our trump card, has lost that edge over the batsman over the last 12 months or 24 months due to various reasons. COVID being one of those, and the other very few test matches Pakistan have played over the last few months.
I think, Doc, you need to change that green shirt to red, but that's a story for a different day. No, look, seriously, Tino, I want to put in perspective the bowling of the West Indies. I'm very disappointed with Craig Brathwaite's handling of Jamal Warrican. Why really is Warrican playing? Because he's been bowling very few overs. And, we saw this evening the spin being put on. And you had Roston Chase and the captain, Craig Brathwaite, bowling before Warrican. What really is this problem with Jamal Warrican?
Barry, I am clueless as well. I don't know why play Warrican if you're not gonna bowl him. You can say, look, we got two left-handers at the crease. I don't wanna bowl Warrican at the left-handers, but really and truly, you're picked to bowl at a right-hander or left. It doesn't matter. You're picked to bowl the cricket ball, and right now Jamal Warrican is not bowling, and I feel for him. He's just in the team as a bystander, to be honest, but. At the end of the day, Craig Brathwaite is the captain. He makes the decisions out there on the field, Barry. And if West Indies win or if West Indies lose, it all is upon him. So you live and learn by your decisions that you make. You live and
so
die.
Clive, the pitch. That's all right, too. We got you covered. The pitch, Sir Clive, at Sabina has kind of remained sort of consistent, but it's not the usual kind of pitch that we've seen at Sabina Park. Are you surprised by how the surface has played?
Well, yes, because normally in the second day, as I said the other day, that's the best time to bat. I remember I sent India in, and they were 120 without loss, and I can't tell you the names they called me, but we won in 3.5 days. So the point is that I still think that, there's not a lot of cricket being played on these test match grounds. And the pitches, you have to play on them so that they get the roll, the vet and their roll and that sort of thing. And they'll have constant bounce. So I think this wicket is playing a little up and down because a few have taken off. And that is why I would think that Pakistan would think anytime they get to 200 or over 200 lead, that they would be in the ascendancy. But it is a situation where it's quite interesting. I think it's very intriguing. And if there's no rain, I think there's some rain about. Tomorrow and the next 2 days, we'll have some, we'll give the players, especially the batters, some trouble. And the bowlers are still getting some movement. So, as I said earlier, there is a result in this game.
All right, you're watching On Tour. When we come back, we're going to put the bowling in perspective and how the Windies bowlers were able to trundle rear in Sabina Park. We'll be right back.
It's time to jump up, people, are you ready? Windies in the land of put up. It's time to jump up, people, are you ready? Windies in the land of put up.
So welcome back to On Tour then. Just a reminder, the Pakistan team, 124 runs on. They've got 5 wickets in hand. Babar Azam is still there on 54. Tino, I want to talk to you about the fast bowling of Kemar Roach, how great he is bowled. And also, Jayden Seales and Jason Holt. And then we should have seen another wicket there for Kyle Mears. Talk to me about the fast bowling. Did they put the balls, Tino, in the right areas on day 3?
Yeah, to be honest, Barry, I thought that they're both decent, given the circumstances and the rain interruption, and then guys got to come out and get fresh again and get back into that mode. But I thought, to be honest, the bowlers did their job. Maybe another 2 wickets. I knew that there was going to be an opportunity for Kyle when he comes on, because he does something with the ball, Barry. He's always nipping the ball in and out, and it's very unfortunate he didn't get that wicket. But at the end of the day, I thought that Kemar Roach bowled really well, and he's continued to show the world that he is a very good seam bowler. He's not an quick as before, but he has learned, he has adapted to the situation, and that, I got this shoulder problem. I can't get to 150 kilometers anymore. I'm going to become a world-class swing bowler, and he is. And you look at the quality of deliveries. Look, I know bowlers love to get the wickets. It doesn't matter. But sometimes when you go back to the hotel or when you're in that quiet moment, you always want to know, Barry, you get top batsmen out with quality deliveries. And Kemar Roach has done that over the last 24 months. He's continued to improve and improve, and he's in the top 10 international bowlers now for the last 2 years now, Barry, if I'm not mistaken. So you can see the improvement that Kemar has done. Young Seals has coming on. Look, he continued to justify his play over Azari Joseph. He's got 5 wickets already in the game. I always hear something Malcolm Marshall used to say, when I was reading Marshall's Law, and he always said that 5 wickets, you always try to aim for 5 wickets a match. And if as a bowler you can aim for 4 to 5 wickets a match, I think you're going to have a good career. And that young man has started off like that so far. I think what has happened for this young man is having Roddy Eswick there with him and learning. I think that Roddy Eswick really works well with young cricketers, especially young fast bowlers. He's only 19, he's not even 20 years old, but he was born in year 2001. So I think that he's in good hands. He looks good. And look, he's going to continue to put pressure on Azari Joseph to get back in this 11. But I still believe that 2 of them have a big role to play moving forward West Indies cricket and that fast bowling department.
Yeah, well said. Johnny, I want to put it to you. Yesterday, you made the point about the 38th over being the big part of the match. What was the critical period there on day 3? What was that position of the game that you could have said, look, this is where the entire match now is being solidified?
It's a good question, really. I think the drop of Blackwood could prove to be expensive for the West Indies. That would have been 6 down at that stage with still a good hour to play. Would have exposed 8, 9, 10, 11 potentially. That was probably the big moment. Of course, also Jason Holder put a catch down a little earlier, didn't he, off Kemar Roach, but that wasn't quite as critical either. But that was probably the key moment of this afternoon session, because 17 of the 25 wickets so far in this game have fallen to balls pitched on a good length, and I think they've hammered away at it all the way through the course of this Test match so far, as have Pakistan. But I think that drop by Blackwood, which was a pretty chance, quite a critical moment today.
Dr. Ansari, I get the impression that all is not well politically with the Pakistan team. Am I right in assessing that, just reading some of the body language of this side coming to play in the Caribbean?
Exactly. And that is where my concerns are. The body language and the mindset of Pakistan team is not too good, and is reflective of what's happening in the dressing room. What I said may be a little harsh, that saying that Babar Azam is a not-born leader. I've been saying that from day one. But that's the fact. And Sir Clive Lloyd will agree with me. He has seen more of Pakistan cricket than you and I. We make captains overnight. We don't groom them. We don't train them. We don't have a vision of making certain individuals the leader of the team. We just make them all of a sudden the snap of a finger. That somebody gets dropped, somebody doesn't perform, somebody has an argument with the board and he quits, and the next thing you know that you are the captain. So this is the problem, and that is why you're saying what you're saying, is because the body language and the confidence in the captain and the side, because over the last few years we have really not focused on our test cricket. Part of this has to do with the fact that we did not have enough test matches under our belt. And look at this. I mean, we're playing 2 test matches series. Where do you see that except Pakistan? We travel all the way 10,000 miles to play 2 test matches. Seriously, come on. This is something with which BCE and no, seriously. I mean, there should be 5 test matches series, especially given the fact that COVID and all these bubble thing is taking place. Once you are there, you should take advantage of the situation. But not really. And in the last few years, this has been our biggest dilemma. And then our domestic cricket is suffering, and especially again during COVID, it has really got hurt, and we are not able to produce match winners, which has been our dilemma for the past few years, and it is getting worse every day.
All right, you're watching On Tour. When we come back, we're going to hear from the players, and then we're going to get the gentleman's assessment as to what they predict for day 4. Don't you move a muscle.
Time to jump up, people, are you ready? Windies in the land of put up. It's time to jump up, people, are you ready? Windies in the land of.
We're back for the last lap of On Tour. Jayden Seals, he was the man who spoke to the media after day number 3.
3 wickets in the first innings, career best 2 so far in the second. How much have you enjoyed bowling on this surface here at Sabina Park?
Well, I've definitely enjoyed bowling on this surface so far. I think it's played pretty well. It helps the bowlers want to bowl in the right areas.
And very young into your test match career so far, but what have been the learnings so far for you?
For me, it's just to bowl good line and length, try and force the batsman to make a mistake and create as much pressure as possible.
And just projecting towards the fourth and possibly the fifth day, how much you guys will be comfortable with chasing in the fourth innings?
I would say anywhere around 170 to 190, probably 200 on this wicket, yeah.
Still 5 wickets to get. What is key in getting those 5 wickets?
Just remaining as patient as possible, doing the things we did well earlier in the day to get the wickets and go in there and bat and win the game.
Thank you very much for your time, Jayden Seals.
Thanks.
Well, good luck there to the young man, Jayden Seals. Let's put things in perspective now. We've got a 30-second assessment for everyone to look at how they think day number 4 will go. Hopefully, weather permitting, we should have a full day's play. We've played very deep. I can't remember when cricket went to 6:30 in a test match anywhere in the Caribbean, but it certainly almost happened on day 3. So Clive Lloyd, on day number 4, 124 ahead, what's the plan if you had to get into that team huddle with the West Indies? What would you be telling the West Indies bowlers on day number 4 to start the day?
Well, just like I told them when they were batting, they have to now try to remove those 5 batters as quickly as possible, because anything over 200 runs would be a bit of a task for them. But I must agree with, I'm sorry, I need a little bit more time with Dr. Ansari, in the sense that, you know, if you don't play 5 test matches, you have to play 3. I think
at least, yes.
12,000 miles to play 2 test matches is not on. And I think the ICC must get their act together and do so, because test cricket is still very, very interesting. Today at Lord's, they had a full house. Tremendous cricket. And I think there's still a place for the longer game. So I hope that somebody would be listening and take note. The point is tomorrow could be quite interesting. And as I said, the first 2 hours will tell you exactly how the game will go. You know, because if the Pakistanis can get to over 200-run lead, it's going to be, you know, quite a task for the West Indies. But if they can get them out under the 200, it's game on. So really, it's a very interesting day tomorrow if there's no rain.
Johnny, if there's no rain and we have a full day's play, are we going to go into day number 5? How do you see it?
Very good question, Barry. And I think Clive's not a million miles away there. The assessment that the first 2 hours will be critical if Pakistan are still batting at lunch, and if they've got the score up to sort of 175, potentially 200 plus ahead, it will be tough for the West Indies, no question about that. But they chased 200 in the GS Bowl last summer. They chased 395 against Bangladesh earlier this year. They are very capable in the 4th innings. Promises to be another fantastic day and possibly may well roll into day 5.
Tino Best?
Yeah, those first 2 hours are going to be very critical. Craig Brathwaite need his bowlers to be patient and be patient, be smart. Don't try anything. Just hit those lines, hit those lengths. And catchers, please take the catches. And look, West Indies chase 198 to win. Win it with 5 wickets in the hat. Come on, boys. Come on, West Indies.
And if Babar Azam gets the 95, don't throw it away. That was just for you, Tino. Dr. Ansari. Dr. Ansari. We started with you, Eddie.
The first 30 minutes. 30 minutes will decide which way the game is going. 2 hours is very long. In 2 hours, Pakistan can put up another 50 runs, and that will be end of the game 80% end of the game for the West Indies. As far as the West Indies bowler is concerned, I really believe they should make these batsmen play. whoever will make these 5 batters play will become successful, because the pressure in the morning session will be on Pakistan. And if they get to pass 170, in fact 200, anything under 200, I will be a little worried. But if they get a lead over 200, then the pressure will be shifted to West Indies. But if the bowlers make them play, their batsmen play, I promise to you they will get wickets, because the shell in which Fahim Ashraf is playing, the non-natural game Azhar Ali has played, Babar Azam himself is not playing like himself, free cricket, they are bound to give away their wickets if they have to face more deliveries.
Wonderful stuff. Gentlemen, thank you. Fantastic program there from Dr. Ansari, Tino Best, who I love to tease, of course, Johnny Barron, and the great man himself, the legendary Sir Clive Lloyd. You've been watching On Tour. It's on to cricket. We'll be back after the match for another assessment. Let's hope it goes into day 5. I'm Barry Wilkinson. Bye-bye for now.
West Indies.
We are the West Indies.
That's right. We are the West Indies. Turn it up to the top. It's time to jump up. People, are you ready?